First off, congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. You will not have to play LeBron James in the Eastern Conference anymore. Honestly, congrats to Toronto. And with that, let's just run down my quick thoughts hours after LeBron signed his deal with the Lakers. Won't be too long of a video, but I just want to put out some opinions. First off, I was pretty shocked at the length of the contract. LeBron is signed with the Lakers for 4 years. That was shocking to me because he usually takes 1-and-1 deals when he's in for 1 year, then he has a clause in his contract so he can opt out in the next season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the longest contract LeBron has signed since 2010 when he teamed up with Bosh and Wade. This means the Lakers know LeBron will be here for some time. Ramona Shelburne tweeted that when Magic and LeBron spoke, LeBron told him that joining would not be affected by a trade that they had to make in a certain amount of time. There will be no LeBron free agency for a while, so that's good for the Lakers. The Lakers for now can be patient and don't have to send out a Kawhi trade to entice LeBron. He's ready to build with this young team, but I wonder if the Lakers make a trade eventually because we just saw what happened with Paul George. He wanted to come to LA around this time, but after spending time in OKC and building with their roster, he stayed. There's always a chance that Kawhi could change his mind this time next year, even if it's being reported that he wants to go to LA as of now. But right now I'm seeing on my TV, Stephen A. Smith is saying that Kawhi will sit out next year if he's still on the Spurs. So who knows? There was a lot of reaction on Twitter, of course, and a lot of Laker players like Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, and Kuzma were tweeting about LeBron signing, and they're excited. Those guys besides Lonzo were deep in the trade rumors, and they're tweeting about it as if they weren't in the rumors. That's pretty interesting to me. The one player that I did not see post their reaction is Brandon Ingram. He doesn't really post much on social media, but I'm gonna assume that he is aware that if the Lakers do a trade for Kawhi, he knows he will be involved in it. I'm going to make a longer video if anything big happens soon for the Lakers, so for this video's purpose, we're going to assume the roster stays the same. Now, I see some people have talked about Lonzo shooting next to LeBron. How is that going to fit? LeBron has flourished with shooters his entire career, and Lonzo isn't exactly a knockdown shooter. I get the downsides to it because Lonzo needs the ball so he can use his passing skills, but I'm more on the optimistic side. Lonzo is a high IQ player, and for someone who is only going into his second year, he knows the game well. Anyone that has watched Lonzo play around December and January before he got hurt, you know he can make an impact without making threes. Lonzo is not a Damian Lillard or Kemba Walker type of player. He's not that guy who specializes in taking a large amount of shots in the pick and roll. Of course he runs the pick and roll, but he does other things too. He can get the ball out fast after a rebound, can run after a rebound, and is a good cutter. He has more to offer to LeBron than just spotting up at the three-point line. Not to get all LeVar Ball on here, but Lonzo will be able to play off LeBron and make him better. Now obviously for the Lonzo and LeBron combo to reach its maximum potential, Lonzo is going to have to become a better catch and shoot player. That is without question. I could be wrong, but I'd bet Lonzo and LeBron, after a few months of growing pains, they form a nice duo. They can pass well, run the floor, and make plays. Josh Hart and Kyle Kuzma should be seamless fits next to LeBron. Both of those guys are good shooters, and especially on catch and shoot situations. I'm really high on Josh Hart. I hope the Lakers can somehow keep him from being traded in a hypothetical deal for Kawhi. I like his potential as a 3-and-D player. The Lakers also signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to a 1-year, $12 million deal. If you watch some of my older videos, then you know I have talked about KCP before. If you remember, he was pretty bad around December. He was dealing with his probation sentence, he was missing threes, and got benched because of bad defense. But once he was out of the pen, he played a lot better. He had a pretty good second half of the year. He bumped up his three-point percentage close to 40%. Let's also not forget that KCP is a decent to pretty good defender. He is smart off the ball and is capable of defending the 1 and 2. The Lakers are going to have a good defensive backcourt with Ball and KCP. Lonzo developed on defense faster than I ever thought he would. Rookies usually struggle on that side of the floor, but Lonzo picked it up pretty fast. He's smart, can stay in front of people, and knows rotations. I like the KCP signing because the Lakers need shooting. What has been the most effective way of getting the most out of LeBron's offense? Surrounding him with shooters. You double LeBron, he's finding the open man at 24 feet. You try to stick to the shooters, LeBron is punishing you inside. On paper, this should be a big year for KCP. He will be getting a lot more open shots than he ever has in his career. And I'm just getting the notification on my phone right now that Lance Stephenson has signed with the Lakers. That is hilarious, and that is my only reaction. Now, my last quick thought, what does this mean for the Eastern and Western Conference? The West is going to be ridiculous. Some team that made the playoffs last year probably isn't going to get in this year. The Warriors, Rockets, Lakers, Blazers, Wolves, Jazz, Pelicans, Thunder, Denver, one of those teams isn't making the playoffs, and all of those teams have built rosters to make the playoffs, so it's going to be a year of disappointment for somebody. And I haven't even mentioned some other West teams like the Suns and the Mavs who will be competing at the very least. They won't be tanking. Now moving over to the East, the Celtics are my on-paper favorite to get out of the East. Can you imagine if next year's finals is the Lakers-Celtics with Kyrie and LeBron playing each other? That's going to be fun. I know a lot of people don't like the Lakers, but the NBA is just better when the big market teams are good, especially the Lakers for obvious reasons. And that's it for me. What do you think of the LeBron James signing to the Lakers? How far will this team go in the playoffs? I probably should ask that in a few months because the roster is probably going to change, but I would pencil them in as a Western Conference playoff team at the least. No matter what happens, it's going to be fun, it's going to be entertaining. Appreciate your guys' support, man. Follow me on Twitter if you have not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which is an interesting story about the 2013 playoffs.